Hello and good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me for another Saints and Angels Oracle deck reading for our week to come. Today is Friday, May 24th, and I believe it's going to be our last Friday in May. I'll have to double check that. Is it 30? Yeah, maybe the 31st. I don't have my calendar. The whole switch up of my moving and stuff, I don't have a calendar here in front of me where I am anymore, so not as convenient. But anyways, whether it is the last or not is not important, I guess, for me to know right now. Not too relevant. What a month May has been. The full moon energy is here. I really am having a doozy of a time in my real world with lots of things, catalysts, interruptions, and also an excited air of adventure and a switch of, or a shift of perception and the energies that I see the world with and observe with, and how I feel in my each moment. Like the transitions are a lot more enjoyable, fluid, and alive, I guess, in this sort of new energy. And lots of people are noticing it too. I think it's kind of like a lot of the light, the truth and honesty seeking, and others just wanting the truth and really being sick of BS and sick of drama and all the kind of nonsense that comes along with that kind of stuff and lifestyle. You know, being a liar or being dramatic or a Karen or a tyrant or whatever you want to look at, those kind of other sort of personalities that have been around really flaring up lately. The other side is very much sick of it. And it's starting to show because, yeah, the positivity is permeating, changes are happening. And of course, you know, there's some obstacles and some things that you maybe don't want to exactly start afresh. They don't want to let go their tendrils, right? But we have to face those things and honor them and thank them for their service, but let them know they're being called to do something else elsewhere at the present moment now, in this here and now. Yeah, and so that will be my ramble for this morning, and I already went 2 minutes, so sorry. Not sorry, but acknowledging, you know, the inconvenient usage of the time here. Right. I want to be respectful and mindful of my own time in the mornings and our time here when we get together, that we stay focused on what the point of this video is, and the point of gathering on Friday is to sit in audience of the saints and angels, to connect with that higher power. Our spirit layer and spirit boss can really take charge during these divination routines, rituals, practices, whatever you like to call these kind of things. But that we are sort of getting out of the frenetic mind, the planning, all these other topics and thoughts and emotions that come up and around, and instead linking into the spirit and allowing that to really speak and listen on the layer that it does best. And it works very well through divination, sort of these synchronistic messages that the universe and ether has stronger ways and a flow to sort of act within, you know. It's such a wonderful way to connect with that spirit realm and layer, and the higher densities, whatever you like to look at that sort of as, with saints and angels and all these sort of astral bodies or ascended masters even. You know, we gather together to honor those things and see their reflections and know that we are the embodiment of them, chosen to live in the life right now, chosen to be down in the hard density of earth and here doing the hard work. So thank you for your service as I honor mine, and I honor those before us and all of those who will come after us, you know, for we are one. So thank you. And I think with that, I'll ring my bowl here. And just give it a nice And so this month's theme, the Queen of Swords, in case anybody is new, welcome. Each month we do a whole theme through tarot, and then we allow and ask and receive, of course, beautiful messages sort of underpinning different workings within that theme for the weeks to come, and for the weeks through the month, right? So we'll have a new message here, obviously, today. I'm not going to do reminders just because it's been repetitive as it is, right? And I've been doing so many reminders and recirclings and back to the moments, and I've already rambled for 5 minutes, right? But, you know, if you're new or if you haven't seen those messages, feel free to go back and watch them, because if they're calling to you, maybe there's some resonance. And even though they are in the past, you know, time is not exactly linear or relative, so perhaps go back and hear the earlier messages from the month, or even in April, and see how they've sort of aligned and run parallel to things in your own happenings back then. So with that said, I'm just going to have a sip of my drink here, and then we'll do a short meditation. If you would like, you can close your eyes. I'm going to close mine and just get comfortable. You can certainly do whatever you're doing. If you're, whatever, driving, doing the dishes, that's cool. It's not a hypnosis or anything like that. We're just going to relax into the moment and get heart-centered for a few. So either relax your gaze gently. You can focus more intently on that which you are doing right now, and just come into your body for a moment and feel it. Feel the breath. But if you can and have the time and space, relax your eyelids, close them down. Feel, recognize, and acknowledge that gentle, easy, velvety curtain, closing of the lids. Feel the coolness of your eyes behind them. See your own perfect darkness, a blank chalkboard of imagination space. The mind's eye. Just take a moment to observe, see what you see here and now. And then, what about right now? Breathing into the moments, allowing what you're seeing to shift and change, to morph and grow like an effervescent, glittering kaleidoscope. Geometries, shapes, gradients, hues, maybe pulsation or coloration takes form here. Breathe, connect consciously. Notice how even just the breath sparks changes in the scenery. And allow those changes in the scenery behind your eyes to ignite changes throughout the whole body. As you breathe, feel how the breath sparks life, sending flickers of energy, of movement, information input throughout the body vessel. See it flowing and lighting you up. Allow your exhales to carry away all that no longer serves the body vessel, each cell. Give yourself a moment to do a sigh of relief or relaxation. imagination to explore and see all the workings and happenings of the breath, all the systems within the body doing great work, their very own business, at their own conscious levels, processing and moving, giving and taking, all the different things that come along with breathing, taking in these special definitive molecules, oxygen, nitrogen, etc., etc., etc. But there is so much more. There is light and love and energy riding in. There's a layer deeper yet than the body's tiny cellular consciousness. It is so tiny it permeates. It is your quark, your atom. It is the spirit, your deepest connection to the ether, infinite intelligence, source, God, whatever you'd like to look at and call that. Tiniest fraction of you, your building blocks, the things bestowed and coming from the before, set up for you to play out here and now. They are given with an ending. They are timely, constricted on purpose, so that they could be looked at and valued from a certain perspective, on a whole, and really, really known and integrated. It's a beautiful fractal piece, intricate mosaic, tiny tile of God, one of those atoms of God. And so, recognize your beautiful, unique fractal piece, your corners and your edges. Those vertices make you, they define you. Yes, they are your extremes, and yet they create your beauty, your symmetries. They give and take. See the soft edges, the straight lines and curves. See the beauty in those, for you couldn't appreciate those without those rougher bits, darker corners. So acknowledge all of them and give great appreciation for them. And in that great appreciation, acknowledge that you are but one piece, fractal and source, to great whole. Breathe into the great whole, and for a moment just feel surrounded. Feel how inevitable the other is. For it is the air around you. It is the room. It is the trees. It's the clouds and sky. It's the phone ringing too. And that is a great notification for us to be respectful of the timely manners and to integrate in our 3D life and setting. We're not meant to be separate from it, to excuse it away and push it into one of those shadowy corners I've just mentioned and turn an eye away from it. No, it's there to integrate, to appreciate, and to work through. Can you? How quickly can you acknowledge and dismiss an upset? Does a catalyst ruin everything? Or can you meet it with grace and move over it like a surfer with a wave? A seal, if you wish, or a mermaid. Let's flow through and back to the current and give our appreciation and acknowledge our sacred joining in the circle of audience, our saints and angels, and Ascended Masters, as I thank you for joining here today on Friday, May 24th, and I thank myself for the continual practice and upholding the space for the collective to be a vessel and instrument of this practice of asking for support and guidance through the Saints and Angels Oracle. Thank you for being here. Feel free to wiggle your fingers and toes and bring it back to your present moment. Take a few grounding breaths and open your eyes on your own time as I ring my bell one last time. My sleeve silenced myself. That's okay. So now let's take the deck out. Actually. Now properly I will thank our beautiful saints and angels. This beautiful practice of divination. Thank you for the opportunities to ask and seek support, guidance, and advice in such a direct manner, and with such an open interpretation also freely offered. We acknowledge and thank you so deeply for your presence, for your love, and your audience as we offer our presence, love, and audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'll shuffle the deck up here. Oops. Overexcited a bit. I think I'll cut it. We got it right in front. In a different setup this morning. Interesting, and also, I believe, maybe a newer card for Saints and Angels Friday readings. Higher education with your guardian angel. I just love, let me get a close-up on this beautiful image. Wow, you know, what a reflection of symmetry and beauty, a face of God, but also, you know, just the way that she simply holds the scroll. She simply is. And the sun also behind there. I love the coloration of the clouds, the blue sky, you know, in mixture with almost a stormy cloud, and yet the sun is shining through. She's holding, information, and it looks to be rose, a seal, and a butterfly on there. Oops, sorry, my light is catching it too much. I love the rose, especially because with higher knowledge and information, it reminds us of the contrasting importance and responsibility that comes with information and higher knowledge and wisdom. It's like the thorns and the beauty. You can't have one without the other, right? And you have to respect that strength and sort of defense that the rose, the beauty, has, and how that great opposition and extremity of opposition, in fact, with the beauty and the silkiness and the fragility of the flower. That in itself is such a great exhibition for us as to look at as a sacred opportunity for learning and exploration, duality, and higher education. 43. And quickly, I'm just going to say, with the duality and the contrast of the thorn and the beautiful fragility and the silk of the petal, comes a secondary sort of lesson that comes into triality and moving through duality and seeing the flower as the whole and knowing that the flower, the rose, has a whole purpose, a divine combination of those two, not just to express those two and to just be beautiful and be pointy and to be a flower, but there is a great role of the flower, of the rose, within the world of botany, within reflection of other flowers, and there's great service and use in the flower in the whole sacred cycle that intermingles the circle of life and the web of life, of all different creations of life that can get from their own specific use of the rose different things for each one, right? A bunny may eat it and appreciate it in one way, versus a human who you can eat them, and enjoy them in the same way, maybe even in a different way, a little more conscious. Who's to know and say what a bunny's consciousness is, right? But look, there's also different ways that a human utilizes rose. We make tinctures, something so complex out of that perhaps, we can't expect a bunny to do. Unless you live in Narnia, maybe. Anyways, I'll keep to the point here, and let's read higher education. Your angel is guiding you to gain further education, either by attending school or through independent study. Higher education refers to instruction with spiritual basis. So, this is a message for you to study topics that capture your true interests. For instance, if there's a spirituality-based service career that you yearn for, now is the time to begin looking at furthering your knowledge in that area. This may mean attending formal classes, reading books on the topic, or working with a mentor. Give any worries about having enough time, money, or skill to your angel. You're being pushed to learn more as a result of your prayers for increased fulfillment. Trust that this door is opening for you at the right time and walk through it in full faith. Begin with simple steps, such as researching various classes on your chosen topic. Even though you may feel that schooling will take time, remember that you'll be alive and doing something during that time anyways. Right? That time's going to be spent anyways. I love thinking that. You may as well use your days wisely by investing in something meaningful. By pursuing higher education, you'll gain newfound wisdom, higher self-esteem, new friends, and exciting opportunities. Wow. What a beautiful message for today and for the end of the month as we're getting closer to June. I hope you'll look for points within the week for higher learning. Sort of as a shameless self-plug here, I will add, I have on amariespeaks.com a plethora of free learning resources, tips and tools, not just things of my own creation, but also videos and book references, sometimes just references to others, creators or thinkers who have inspired me, videos that have inspired me. Higher learning definitely involved tons of metaphysical stuff. I break it down on my tools tab over there, and I have a bunch of different topics, so you could check those out. Everything's free over there, and you could find a bunch of things if you're interested and not sure where to look for things on higher learning. But thank you again so much for joining me here on Friday. I hope you've enjoyed these messages and that you will look for utilization throughout the week. I will say I put my cards away here, and I'll show my back of the deck is safe travels for this week here with St. Christopher. I'm sorry that's a little, again, my light. If you have underlying questions or lingering answers that you were hoping for around travel or someone traveling, know that all is well and all will be safe. They will be carried and watched over. So thank you again so much for joining me here, and I'll see you next Friday.